Well, we'll have more action from tonight coming up, but first let's look at some of last night's games, starting with the match that's making the headlines for all the wrong reasons.
A poisonous pre-match atmosphere around Upton Park, culminating in the stabbing of one fan, meant that the meeting of West Ham and Millwall was never going to pass without incident. Tension inside the Boleyn ground was already at boiling point when Millwall talisman Neil Harris put the League One side in front after 26 minutes. That was too much for some Hammers fans, whose agenda appeared to feature disruption and destruction rather than the delights of a London Cup derby. For what it's worth, West Ham avoided the ignominy of defeat thanks to a late intervention from teenager junior Stanislas, who levelled matters with 3 minutes left in normal time. The prospect of another 30 minutes of football seemed to further inflame some so-called supporters who were simply unable to contain themselves. When play eventually resumed, West Ham finished the stronger. Stanislas put them ahead 8 minutes into extra time with his second of the night from the spot. With the benefit of hindsight, the players probably shouldn't have celebrated so close to the touchline, because far from appeasing the hooligan element among Hammers supporters, Stanislas's second simply led to another invasion, which forced players off the pitch for their own protection. For the record, West Ham made it safe 2 minutes later, Zavon Hines with the finish, but this unsavoury affair is far from over. The FA is planning a full investigation into a night that shamed the game.
Yeah, some shocking scenes at Upton Park. As a former West Ham man yourself, Leroy, what did you make of all that as it unravelled?
Well, it really made my stomach churn, to be honest with you. It brought back memories of the games we had against Millwall back in the 80s and the disgraceful scenes then. And I didn't think those days would come back. You know, there was a racial element as well. Carlton Cole was getting racially abused. The West Ham supporters running on the pitch, being threatening. And it's just not acceptable. Not in this day and age, no way. And the way the FA reacted was absolutely right. There should be a sort of zero tolerance to this sort of thing, and they've got to sort it out.
Some people are saying let's not overreact, but I suppose there does have to be a tough stance taken here.
There has, especially when we're trying to bid for the World Cup in 2018, and these scenes will go all the way around the world. And if people see this, there's no chance of us getting that sort of the World Cup or anything else. So it's got to be stamped on. You know, I would say even go as far as playing behind closed doors. And next time these two teams meet, play behind closed doors.
Do you actually think it will affect the World Cup bid?
Absolutely. Those pictures will be, everybody will see them. And they'll think, oh, the bad old days are back. The hooliganism is back. And it's something that we've done great to stamp out. Let's make sure we try and keep it out.
OK, well, understandably, the FA were quick to condemn the events at West Ham last night, and the FA's Director of Communications is Adrian Bevington.
It was a disgrace, and it's not acceptable. And the fact that the media are making such an issue of it today, and we are responding to the events of last night in such a strong way, shows that we're all committed to eradicating such incidents. But we must understand that these incidents have been so few and far between in recent years that we must not let it blow us off course with where we are with tackling hooliganism. We've never said that we have solved the problem long term. We keep working at it and bringing in new measures all the time to try and eradicate it, and we'll continue doing so. The most important thing here is identify the individuals concerned. That can be done with all of the media coverage. There's a lot of people who are on camera now who in places they shouldn't have been or behaving in a way they shouldn't have been. They can be identified and hopefully then put through the system.
Well, apart from West Ham, 7 other Premier League teams were up against lower league opposition last night, but all of them avoided a slip-up.